Good evening, everybody. Chris and Tiffany here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's live video. And we are here to talk all things cruising, all of the cruise news for this week. There's been a few interesting things. Carnival's done some stuff has happened over at Royal Caribbean, and we got a countdown going for Margaritaville at sea. So it should be super interesting to see what is going to happen there. Maybe we'll have some predictions tonight, and then next week we will know for sure who's right, who's wrong, who guessed correctly.
So Glistens is here, wants to know if in the intro, if the Royal Caribbean cruise ship, if that was an Oasis class ship.
Yes, it was. That was Harmony of the Seas.
Yes. Victoria's here. Hello from California. Welcome, Victoria. Welcome Glistens.
Yeah, welcome. Glad to see some, I think it's a new name from California.
Yeah.
Join some of our other California folks. So we'll give everybody a second to hop in, everybody a second to say hi, and then we will get going with tonight's show. How has everybody's week been? Anything new, anything exciting going on out there?
Anybody getting ready for a cruise or just coming back from a cruise? Ruthie's here, says hello from Kentucky.
From Kentucky. Awesome.
Welcome, Ruthie. Bob is here. Hello, Chris and Tiffany. Really enjoying your videos from Harmony. We had a lot of fun making them.
Yeah, we did have a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. Enjoyed making them. We'll have some new ones for you here in November. Starting November the 9th. It's going to be a whole new experience. MSC Seascape sailing out of Galveston. Really looking forward to it. Brand new cruise terminal. We're going to be some of the first guests to ever go through there. And on the first time MSC is ever going to sail from Galveston. Not a new cruise line, obviously. Not a new cruise ship, but first time out of Galveston. So I'm really excited to see how Galveston is also going to welcome MSC Cruise Lines.
Yes.
We're going to welcome them for sure by being on that ship.
Victoria says cruise leaving tomorrow on Carnival. That is so awesome.
That is a cruise countdown right there. How much longer?
Hours.
Tomorrow.
Down to hours, no more days.
Yeah, that is really awesome.
Glisten says, what type of... I'm not sure. James says, hello, Chris and Tiffany and all High Seas cruisers.
Welcome, James.
Bob
saying hello.
Glisten says Mardi Gras is their favorite.
All right. So let's go ahead and get ready. Let's hop in. Let's talk about everything that's been going on.
Texas Cruiser is here.
Rick. I know Rick has been super busy recently. So good to see Rick joining us tonight.
Says, cool. I am really looking forward to cruise with you on Seascape. Donna is excited to meet Tiffany. I'm excited to meet Donna and you because I haven't met you.
That's true. You have not met either Rick or Donna yet. I have not met Donna, but I have met Rick. But yeah, it's going to be super cool to cruise with them. And there's going to be some other cruisers on there as well that we'll get the opportunity to meet on that particular cruise. So it's going to be good. We're going to do a little networking, a little saying hi, and checking out some MSC cruising.
Yes. Bob says, we are booked on Seascape in January, so would love your report.
We're definitely going to give it to you. It's going to be all brand new to us. And this particular cruise, I'm not doing a lot of research ahead of time. I kind of want to get that wow factor in more so than I have on other cruises. I don't really want to know a whole lot. The rules, the regulations, we cannot take our drinks on board the ship. MSC does not allow you to bring stuff on board. That's perfectly okay. So we'll do a little bit on that, make sure we have the beverages and stuff we want to drink. But other than that, I think we're just going to kind of go with the flow.
Connie's here. Ahoy, mateys. And Glisten says, okay, thanks for the recap. Texas Cruiser, I was just looking at MSC Seascape. What is with their robotic hand in the back of the ship?
It's a ride. Get on it, flings you around, twirls you around, tosses you off the side of the ship.
No, it doesn't. Don't say that because then everybody's going to start reporting that.
Tiffany reported that. We're going to put it out. Tiffany from High Seas Cruising said. Y'all go with me on this.
James says, okay, now I'm jealous. Been looking at Seascape maybe next year. Attila's here. Hey, y'all.
Hey, we really like it. There's a chance we'll get right back on it with you. But we won't know until November. It's really hard to say. I am predicting it's going to be a great time. I'm predicting it's going to be a great cruise, and we're really going to love it because is it really such a bad cruise? Is it really that much of a thing? Yeah. You may have some dislikes, but I mean to come home and go, I'll never cruise that again. I just find that hard to believe that's going to come out of your mouth.
Nellie's here. Hi everyone. Hi Nellie.
All right, so I noticed it yesterday. I saw someone else post about it yesterday. I went, looked, confirmed, signed up for the email. Nellie actually posted on it today. We are counting down to the announcement of where Margaritaville at Sea Beachcomber is going to go. It's down to 5 days and some hours. I think that puts it about Monday morning. So Monday morning, we're going to find out. So everybody, this is your chance. This is your opportunity to say where you think Margaritaville at Sea Beachcomber is going to go. And the next Wednesday, we're going to find out for sure here on the live. We're going to talk about what everybody thinks. I still say Mobile, Alabama, number 1. Galveston, number 2. New Orleans, number 3. That is my prediction. Mobile, Galveston, or New Orleans in that particular order.
Nellie wants to know, wait a minute, do I need to welcome some new person in here named Texas something? David's here. Good evening, y'all. Texas Cruiser said bad Nelly.
He is the live enforcer. So
Nelly says Rick assumes it will be Galveston. I don't think so. Glisten said, did MSC use some ideas of Royal Caribbean's Oasis class and Icon class? You know, the middle of Oasis and Icon is divided, so did MSC use ideas for their World, America, and Europa?
I don't know that they necessarily used their ideas. That particular concept is actually a fairly older concept. Carnival Cruise Lines actually did put out a concept one time, it's been years, of a ship very similar with the sections open in the middle. So it's not necessarily a new concept. I don't think they looked at an Oasis and go, ooh, we're going to copy that. That particular design, the oldest one I know that I've ever seen of that was actually Carnival. They never built it. They never moved forward out of concept. But I think Carnival might actually have been one of the original ones that I saw.
James says, Nellie, always getting after Rick. Texas Cruisers, well, of course it's Nellie.
So, but yeah, so everybody drop your predictions of where you think the Beachcomber is actually going to end up. So, but we'll know Monday. Should be Monday morning about 8 a.m., I believe, if I've got that countdown right.
Nellie, Rick, is your sources still stating Galveston, Margaritaville? And then Glisten says, I think Margaritaville at Sea going to go from Galveston to Nassau, probably.
I'm going to have to go nay on that particular one. No.
It's too far, right?
It's too far. For what Margaritaville at Sea does right now, they are more of a short cruise group. You know, they do shorter, quicker cruises. They are starting to do the 7-day cruises, but the majority of them are shorter. So Galveston would be Cozumel and back, Progresso and back. New Orleans, you know, same thing. Mobile, Alabama. That one could possibly go either. That one could be like a Key West, maybe. It would have to go one other place, though. So maybe Nassau, something like that. But not from Galveston to Nassau. I think that's too far, too many sea days, not enough in between.
Connie says Tampa.
Now, what I heard about that, though, and I've never sailed out of Tampa, but I believe the Beachcomber might be too tall to go under the bridge in Tampa. Seems to be a general consensus that it's probably too tall for Tampa.
Nellie says, I don't know if it will be Mobile. Do they have enough parking for 2 ships in Mobile?
Not yet, but with the announcement of a new ship, Mobile has already said they are ready to build more parking if a second ship commits. So Mobile's on board to get a second ship. So maybe that's going to be the tie-in. Now, somebody also did say that the Jimmy Buffett Museum is in Mobile, Alabama. So would it be a tie-in to have Margaritaville at Sea in Mobile, Alabama, to tie into a Jimmy Buffett museum? Possibilities.
What about the West Coast?
No, I absolutely don't think so at all. And the reason is they haven't spread that far yet. This is only going to be their third cruise ship. They're going to kind of stick around. I think they've got 2 in Florida. I think that third one's going to be their first branch out.
James says, "Hey Rick, I hope one of these days we can meet in Galveston and get on a cruise." Texas Cruiser said that would be cool, James. Nelly says, "I think if they do come, it will be Islander." Glisten says, "Okay, Miami, Nassau, back to Miami." Bob says, "Margaritaville to Galveston or New Orleans, pick up the center of the country."
That's kind of what I'm thinking is where it's going to go. I think it's going to be somewhere in that area. But right now, it's all a guess. We'll know for sure on Monday morning.
Nellie says, "But then they say there is a Margaritaville Houston resort area."
Well, yeah. I don't know. These are just pure speculation and guess as to what they. Because come the end, we could all be wrong, and maybe Tiffany's right. And maybe they are going to announce Long Beach. It's feasible. They absolutely could decide to go ahead and put it on the West Coast altogether, and none of the ports we think are going to see it. That's not out of the realm of possibility. I wouldn't think that would be their first shot, but 3-4 day cruise down the Mexican Riviera over there.
The Victoria says they need to come to Long Beach. Texas Cruiser says Galveston has a larger population to draw on, 65 million within an 8-hour drive. That's a lot of people. James says, "Yeah, not sure either because that bridge in Tampa pretty low. How big is Margaritaville at Sea? Anyone know?"
She is a Destiny class cruise ship, which puts her in the same size as the Sunshine and Sunrise. The Triumph was also a Destiny class ship, so I want to say she's a Destiny class size, same size as the Carnival Sunrise and Sunshine. There we go. I couldn't think of the other one.
Do you think Margaritaville is becoming better over the past years?
Since I haven't cruised on them, I can't say definitely one way or another, but I can say they are getting a very, very strong following. Their price point is good. Jimmy Buffett's got a huge thing. Margaritaville's been a thing for a long, long time. Quick, short weekend cruises, fairly inexpensive. They don't have all the thrills and frills that, an Oasis class or an Icon class has, but the price point's good. They got that following. It's a great little trip. And you notice you don't hear a lot of negativity coming off of Margaritaville as far as the cruise itself. You're not hearing about, even though they're short cruises, people fist fighting and all this other. You don't hear a lot of that from Margaritaville. There's people that don't like it because, they'll go cruise Celebrity Cruise Lines and then they'll go cruise Margaritaville and then they try to compare the two. I think Margaritaville has a very specific niche that's perfect for them. And I want to try it. I'm for it.
Nellie says, "Y'all will be on MSC. I will be Walt Disney World. So Tiffany, who wins? Me or you guys?" We both do because neither one of us are at work.
and Tiffany has been deciding today where she wants to go for her birthday in May, and Disney may be at the top of that list. She's already talking about things she wants to eat in Epcot. So we may not be all that far behind you.
Nellie says larger population to draw on, but Princess left, so there is that. And then Nellie says he likes the fall decor, or yay, fall decor. Yes. I pulled it out of the closet.
Yeah, I mean, Galveston's got a big population, but so does California. Let's not pretend like they don't. So it could easily be there. New Orleans has got a big population. Mobile, it's less than an 8-hour drive for me to get to Mobile, Alabama from my house. Still within that window. And I liked sailing out of Mobile. So I think everything is honestly an option. Everything is honestly a possibility until they come out and say what exactly it's going to be. Don't get me wrong. I would love for it to be Galveston because then I'm on Margaritaville at sea 3 hours from my house. And I guarantee if it comes to Galveston, we're going to be on that ship. Actually, probably if it comes to Mobile, we might be on that ship because it's just a few hours drive to get over there. I just, as much as I love Galveston, I don't know that I can for 100% for sure predict that that's where it's going to go because there's choices and all of them have pros and cons.
Attila says Spirit class ships fit under the bridge, but I don't know if bigger ones would. Rick says Princess will be back to Galveston by 2027.
And yeah, so Destiny is the one size after Spirit. And I don't know for sure that it wouldn't fit under the bridge. I've just heard some stuff saying, I don't think it'll fit under the bridge. Don't actually 100% know that though.
James says, I'm with you, Chris. I'm thinking Margaritaville at sea is a little big for Tampa. Attila says, Princess back in Galveston, good. Bob says, I guess we'll all become paradise.
I'm for it. I'm not going to lie. I know a lot of people when it came out, they were like, oh, this sucks. It's, I think Margaritaville has done work to improve that. And people now are putting out, it's a fun cruise. It's fun. They had a good time. And if you go into it knowing you're paying way less for their cruise than you are for a luxury suite on some other cruise ship, you're going to have a blast.
Rick wants to know how Wonderland was. Attila also says better be Sun Princess. But Wonderland was awesome. I had a really good time. I enjoyed most of the food.
I did not care for the food, and the food in Wonderland was not for me. Not bad, not disgusting, not gross, not to my taste. But the experience was awesome.
Yes.
It was a fun experience, and I'm really glad we went. But when dinner was over, I did go up and eat in the buffet. But I'm not a huge seafood fan, and some of that was just a little on the extra strange side for my particular taste.
Yes. Did try a lot of new stuff that I'd never eaten before.
So I did try a little bit of it. It just not for me.
Yeah. So I had a really good time there.
But dessert was awesome, though.
Yes. And that drink.
Oh, yeah. And we had a drink and everything. If you haven't checked it out.
Came out a few days ago.
Monday, I think it was Monday's video where we do Wonderland and show you the drink and everything. And our waiter in there, he was really cool. Made sure we got to film everything, all his explanations of how it worked and what everything was. So it's a pretty thorough little video. He was cooperative.
Yes. Rick says Bob Princess thought they were making a strategic move to another port. Regal is still at Galveston to finish the contract. Princess and the Galveston port director are negotiating to come back. And Misty's here. Welcome, Misty. She says, howdy, y'all. Nellie, if you are Margaritaville, go to Mobile where you can dominate the market. Galveston has Royal and lots of Carnival ships, NCL and MSC, lots of competition.
That's true, too. Going to some place like Mobile where there's only going to be one Carnival cruise ship, it could be a smart play. And that would get me to drive to Mobile. They would pull at least one passenger, two, from Texas.
Yeah. Glisten says, I like Island Princess because they're rocket-shaped horn or funnel. Rick says, it's the experience, not so much the food. I loved my smoke ring bourbon there. Yeah, I enjoyed the food.
I enjoyed the experience.
Yes.
And I enjoyed Tiffany enjoying everything, which she did. We kept the promise. She was going to go to Wonderland if she got on an Oasis class ship. We made it happen. So she's happy. I'm happy. We're good. It was also Caribbean night that night. So I just went up to the buffet and had my Caribbean meat pies, which is what I wanted to eat that night anyway. So I was good. I was going to go whether I liked the food or not.
Yes.
I just had room for more. So, but yeah, so we're waiting for the big news from Margaritaville. We also had we'll call it big news from Carnival Cruise Lines this week. They've made a change to their rewards program. They said they've listened. They've heard. They understand that people were not happy. So they made some changes. Changes that so far do not seem to be making everybody happy. Except for Diamond passengers. Diamond passengers are good because they have been determined that they are lifetime Diamond. Now, whether that's lifetime until they are no longer cruising or lifetime of the program, however you want to word that, Diamonds don't have to re-earn their loyalty status. Platinums, however, did not get that. They get 10,000 points biannually. So every 2 years, they get 10,000 stars to help them towards their goal of 50,000 stars to maintain platinum, which pissed off the platinums.
Yes.
Again. So a lot of the platinums weren't happy about it. Those that where loyalty status is important, they're not happy.
Nellie says, Rick, October 3rd, I will wave to you in Galveston. Rick says, Donna will compare notes with you, Tiffany. Awesome. Yeah, because I'm curious because I got the C package. So it came with fish
in a bag.
And I'm not a big fan of mushroom, and it tasted a lot like mushroom. So I'd like to compare notes, see what other things. Yours was good, though. You had
the ribs.
Those were good.
I'm from Texas. They were missing the mesquite smoking. but again, that's a me thing, not a bad food thing.
Yeah.
So, not a bad food thing at all.
Bob says, I guess I'll wave at Rick as well on October 26th, board Mariner on the 27th. Awesome. Everybody's going to cruising next month. October's a fun time to cruise with Halloween and everything.
Yes. Yeah, if you're into Halloween and costumes and the parties, October's an awesome time to cruise because you get to see it all, participate in it all. A lot of the ships are already decorating and starting to decorate if they haven't already for Halloween. To get decorations and it's a change of pace.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fun one.
Rick says, man, I wish I would sail Mariner before she leaves, but I am excited about Liberty replacing her.
We've done Liberty.
Yes. Nellie says, Mariner for me is a solo cruise. Yeah.
We don't say that out loud. We wait till we're on the ship and go, woohoo! The whole bed is mine. But yeah, so changes from Carnival Cruise Lines on their rewards package. I think this is going to play out for a while. We got all this. None of this goes into effect until June 1st of 2026. I don't know if we're done with all of Royal's tweakings in an effort to try to make everybody happy. Because I've heard all kinds of comments, seen all kinds of comments that come from both ends of the spectrum. Those that are okay, those that absolutely hate it, those that are good with it, those that are pissed off. Everybody's got a thought and opinion as to why Carnival did it. But the truth is, who knows?
Carolyn's here. Welcome, Carolyn. She says, hello, hello. I am stopped at a Maverick store and sneaking in to say hello.
Well, hello.
And Nellie says, so those little kids keep Carnival status without spending a dime.
Yes, but when they turn 18, they're eligible to then join the rewards program. But it's only little kids that have achieved platinum or diamond under the current plan prior to by May 31st of 2026. So, for an example, if the child is, let's say, gold, when they turn 18, they're back to zero. They have to be platinum. They have to be diamond when the program starts. And then once they turn 18, they can pick up that program and join it as is. Because kids cannot be part of the rewards program on Carnival Cruise Lines. They can be part of the old program where you just were awarded loyalty, but they cannot be in a rewards program because of their age. So kids basically have been booted out.
James wants to know if I would sail Harmony or one of the sister ships again. I probably would. Just because I didn't feel crowded.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel, I don't know. There were places where it was super crowded, but like going to the solarium, I was good. There wasn't a lot of people in there.
Mm-mm.
It was big enough that it accommodated everybody. So
a lot of the places where people congregated on sea days, we don't normally congregate there. We don't spend a lot of. We don't swim in the ship pools. You know, they're too busy being peed in and thrown up in. So we don't do that. But you see a lot of people right there. Other than that, coming out of the shows naturally, because everybody walks out the door and wants the elevators right there.
That bottlenecks no matter what size ship you're on.
Right. Coming out of the shows, you're getting a bottleneck. But meals were never really crowded. Mm-mm. Never really had a hard time getting anywhere. There was a specific event, it could get a little crowded. There was that family fair that they had on the boardwalk.
That got a little
crowded, but there was a lot of people back there and kids, and they had the games in the middle, which naturally cut some down on some of the flow and things like that. So you would go on another Oasis?
I would.
Class? Well, good. Symphony's coming. So you're hooked up and ready to go. It does have a Wonderland on there.
Okay.
So
Nellie says, so when they turn 18, if they are diamond or whatever Carnival's highest is, they keep it for life?
As long as they're diamond prior to or by May 31st of 2026, if I read that correctly. Yes.
Carolyn says, thank you for the videos. I get excited to see your new ones.
Well, thank you for watching them. We really, really appreciate that. The next one is going to be on Friday. Yeah, and it's the evening of the Costa Maya trip. And then Monday and Wednesday will be Paradise Beach in Cozumel.
Rick says, are you booked on Allure when she comes back to Galveston for a couple months next spring? I'm booked on her April 12th. Bob says, I would recommend if you sail Oasis again, try in October.
Yeah, I also think going in August wasn't our best shot at that either. We were hoping to get past the summer break, and I think we caught just the tail end of it. I think which put a little extra on the ship. Yeah, if we'd have waited till like October, I don't think we would have faced.
Yeah, that's the first time we've ever sailed in August.
Yeah, we don't go that early.
Carolyn says, your Costa Maya port review helped me. Thanks.
Welcome. So Rick said,
are you booked on Allure when she comes back to Galveston?
No. Not yet anyway. We're still looking at the cruises for next year. Like I said, Tiffany's thrown in Disney for my birthday would be okay on us today. That can affect some of the stuff we are doing for next year. Given the choice of Allure or Symphony, I think we would go with Symphony simply because I've already done Allure. Tiffany hasn't, and maybe she would want to do that one, but I think we'd actually go up towards Symphony first before we went to Allure. Oh, just kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
But there's some other ones we want to try to squeeze in there as well. So won't all be Royal Caribbean for our next couple ones. There's actually a couple Carnival ones that are catching our attention.
Misty says, cough, cough, World America, cough in May. And Ellie said, Allure is new, though.
She's refurbished, yes. But I've also sailed on Allure. I've not sailed on Symphony. And what they did to Allure is basically turn her into... I mean, she has some newer stuff on her, but...
Rick says, looking to book Symphony for my birthday cruise in April 27th.
We haven't even got to 2027 yet. 2027, Carnival right now has my attention for 2027. I'm not gonna lie. With those itineraries that they've added for the ships coming to Galveston, Carnival has my attention for 20. Those are the ones I sent you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely have my attention for 2027. But Carnival did do some dancing of the ships, as they're calling it, were announced today. So the Carnival Spirit is going to be moving to Long Beach, California, and is going to be doing seasonal sailings out of Long Beach. They're going to be doing Carnival's first ever Hawaii itineraries, according to Carnival. Sail from Long Beach. They're going to hit Ensenada, and they're going to go out and do Hawaiian Islands. They're actually Journeys cruises, 14 days. They're going to be doing that. It was October through April, and with that seasonal window, that means Carnival Spirit's going to be heading to Alaska in between. So she'll be doing the Alaska. The Carnival Freedom is moving to Norfolk, Virginia. And not sure why it was really part of the announcement, but the Carnival Pride is staying in Baltimore year-round. She's already in Baltimore. So
well, that's good news for Baltimore.
Well, they were talking about a different ship coming into Baltimore. They kept saying that a Conquest class ship was going to go to Baltimore, which the Pride is not. She's a Spirit class. No. Yes, I can't remember. She's not a Conquest class. But there's still some up in the air. Where's the Carnival Valor going? Maybe that's going to be her. We don't know. But the Carnival Spirit does her off-season, Alaska off-season in Mobile, Alabama. The Spirit's been pulled from Mobile. It's now going to Long Beach. So there's also the question of what's going to Long Beach. I mean, what's going to Mobile as well. Carnival said there's going to be a full-time ship in Mobile. Which ship is that going to be? I don't necessarily think it's going to be a big ship because the channel over there is not super huge. I don't know how. Huh?
It'll be a floating ship. Sorry.
I'm sure it's going to float. Thank you, baby.
Nellie said, Misty, you will be our World America expert. Start vlogging.
Start vlogging.
Rick says, I'm excited to see a lure after getting amped. Nellie says, me too, Rick. I really want to go on a lure. Bob says, if I've read it right, Carnival will have 4 ships in Galveston.
Yes, it's going to be the Carnival Jubilee, the Carnival Breeze, the Carnival... Oh, I'm about to mess up. The Horizon, and Legend? Crap.
Nellie's laughing because I said it'll be floating.
No, we're getting the Carnival Spirit in Galveston. I'm sorry, I've got that wrong. Carnival Spirit's coming to Galveston. Legend's going to Long Beach to do the Hawaii cruises, which means the Legend will be doing Alaska in the mid-season. Whoop, I almost got all that wrong and put out the wrong information.
Yeah.
Galveston is getting the Carnival Spirit out of Mobile.
So it says Baltimore has the bridge to pass under. Oh, no, wait, the bridge.
They are rebuilding the bridge.
Yes. Rick says 27 is going to be an exciting year for Galveston with a lot of new ships, home porting here, Symphony, Horizon, Spirit, pretty sure a Princess, either Star of the Seas or Hero of the Seas, Beachcomber, and a Celebrity.
that
Nellie says
right now he's sitting on Santa's lap going, Santa, this is what I want for Christmas. With his Hero and a Seas.
Yeah.
Smoking the seaweed in the seas. But
David says we have been out of Baltimore 7 times, and I would be surprised that a Conquest class ship would fit under the Bay Bridge.
Yeah, so I guess that's the Carnival said it was coming there, and I don't know. Is the plans to rebuild the bridge going to be taller and then a Con class would fit? Or was that a mistake that Carnival ever said that? And it's weird when they released the information on the Pride in Tampa, the Pride in Baltimore today. Why didn't they include a second ship if that was their plan? So it's kind of vague and they haven't answered yet.
Nellie says, Rick, if we get Icon class, it will be the original. Glistens is going on enchantment in February of 2026. Nellie says, by the way, Hero of the Seas is the dumbest name for a ship, if that's what it is. And then Glistens wants to know.
That's the dumbest name for a ship.
Glistens wants to know if enchantment is a nice, good ship.
Yes. Nellie's on. He's on it tonight. But I do have to admit, yeah, that's of all the names that they could have come up with in the world, yeah, that's probably the dumbest one I've ever heard too.
David says, I am not talking about the bridge in Baltimore, but the Bay Bridge that connects Delaware with DC.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know a ton about that area either. I said it could be a whole thing that they're not going to get one at all. And that whole thing was miscommunication from the beginning. But I know when they put out the announcement of Baltimore today, a lot of people were in the comments going, oh, where's our conquest class? They were not getting answered. So I would have thought they would have put it in at the same time.
Yeah. Bob says, Nellie, I agree. We will probably get the Icon while Miami will get the new one. Thomas is here. Welcome, Thomas. Allure of the Seas, June 26th, out of Fort Lauderdale.
Awesome. I'm still going to go. We're not getting an Icon anytime soon. I think we've been slowly moving our way up the chain. We got Allure. Then we got a newer one. We got Harmony. Allure got revamped, amplified. We're going to get her for a little bit, and then she goes, we're getting Symphony of the Seas. I think we look at the next one somewhere in there. I think we would get Wonder of the Seas first, Odyssey of the Seas. I expect to see one of those, if not both of those, first before anything bigger comes in. That's just my guess, though. Before we get Hero of the Seas.
Yeah. James says, when do they start the longer cruises in Galveston? As Chris knows, I like cruising out of Galveston, plus cheaper than my cruise on the NCL Aqua out of Miami for June 26.
So the 2027. When they do the dancing of the ships, they added a lot more longer itineraries, including some ones that people really like, which is the Key West, Grand Cayman, Jamaica Circle. That one's in for 2027 pretty consistently. They've got ones that go to the Panama Canal. They're going to have ones that go to the Southern Caribbean, the ABC Islands, and a couple that go pretty much all the way through the Virgin Islands, several to Nassau, Celebration Key, all out of Galveston. So they are pushing out. They're still going to have their normal Cozumel, Isla Tropical, Mahogany Bay run going through there, but they're going to push a few more out. Now, those ones that are pushing out further are going to, of course, be on the Carnival Spirit. And Carnival Horizon's going to have some. And the Carnival Breeze is going to have a couple of Journeys cruises, while the Jubilee is mostly going to stay pretty much what she's been doing now.
Nellie's asking Thomas if it's the 8-night to Aruba on Allure. Tella says, Galveston is situated so nicely to the open seas. It's a short little jump around the corner and a little bit farther, and you're out. No bridges. 6-hour river rides or any of the long channels. Yeah, that's very true. You're kind of...
Yeah, some of them got long river routes to get out to actually into the open sea. Even going out of Mobile, it took a few minutes to get downriver and get out into the open sea and actually clear. So,
yeah,
I thought it was kind of cool. At least once, it was fun. It was cool to have a little more to look at, I guess.
Yeah.
On the way out.
Nellie says, let Rick tell you we will have Icon, Symphony, and Wonder in Galveston, along with Celebrity Beyond. Misty says...
At the six dock terminal.
Yeah. Misty says, haha, Nellie, I keep doing research. I just might. Little late. I'm in process of making applesauce. That's all right, Misty. Welcome. Rick says Carnival has a couple of nice journeys cruises out of Galveston to the Eastern Caribbean and Southern Caribbean. The Breeze is doing a 12-day Eastern.
Yeah, there's some nice ones that definitely came out for 2027, and those particular itineraries, 3 hours from home, is actually probably going to pull us to Carnival for 2027 right now. Depends on what everybody else puts out, but at least at the moment, Carnival's got our attention purely for itineraries.
Yeah. Phyllis says I booked one on the Dream right before she leaves. Nellie says, yeah, Rick, Haley and I are looking at some Breeze. Rick says, exactly, Attila. Bob, when Perfect Day Mexico opens is when we will get the Icon with another Oasis, possibly Wonder. Attila said,
I do agree that the Perfect Day Mexico is going to be when we see the big shift from Royal Caribbean. If they're going to do something, it's probably going to coincide with that.
Glisten says, have you traveled on Ada Perla before? It's beautiful, isn't it? I don't even know what that is. What is that?
We've never done Ada Cruise Lines.
James says, thanks, Chris. Yeah, started planning my trip to Miami, and it's going to hit, where'd you go? The pocketbook a little.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 6 hours plus. Is that just for getting down the Mississippi?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Texas Cruiser said the Breeze is a nice ship, Nellie. Attila says Breeze is very nice. We've been on that one twice, right?
Yep, that's one of the only cruise ships we've ever done twice is the Carnival Breeze. She is a nice cruise ship, which is why we probably need to be doing the Carnival Dream before she leaves. So they are sister ships, but we have never actually done the Carnival Dream.
Attila said the spa package on her is nice. James says,
we did the thermal suite on the Breeze.
Yeah, we did do the thermal suite. That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Rick. Yeah, I like the 10 to 14 day cruises. Nellie said we are overextended next year. Star of Seas, Allure, Star Princess, and maybe Celebrity Beyond again. And I am sure Haley will make me go to Disney World in between. Yes, she will. Rick says Galveston has some really good alternative sailings to other areas of the Caribbean.
Yeah, we're definitely looking at a 14-day sailing out of Galveston. They've got the one that hits St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. Kitts, Puerto Rico. I mean, it hits a bunch of places in the 14 days. Couple sea days to get there, couple sea days to get back, but the middle of it is just jam-packed with exciting ports that don't come up all that often from here. So it's definitely a Journeys cruise, but I mean, it is a different vibe on a Journeys cruise than it is on a 3 or 4 day cruise, no matter what cruise line you're on.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot more chill at 14 days.
Nellie said, but only Carnival is doing those alternate routes.
That they have announced fully so far. One thing I figured out, paying attention to all these cruise lines, this is a whole bunch of monkey see, monkey do. So Carnival's putting out all this information going, hey, look at these really awesome Eastern Caribbean cruises we're doing from Galveston. You know, the other cruise lines are paying attention going, those are booking up really, really nice. All right, let's see what we can do to do something similar to that. And you'll see the other cruise lines start to fall. Maybe not in 2027, maybe not till 2028, but it's a whole bunch of monkey see, monkey do. One does it, the others do it. And itineraries are a lot like that.
Listen says, I don't like the new Star Princess. I like Grand Class better. Princess Cruise Line is taking their Spear class too far.
Yeah. Another good example is, Royal Caribbean built a brand new terminal in Galveston. They announced it. It was building. They were going to bring in Allure of the Seas, big Icon class ship. And then Carnival's like, we're going to give you guys Jubilee. Brand new cruise ship, Jubilee. No one else has given Galveston that. Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah. Nellie says, I may do the Breeze to Cayman and Jamaica. The balcony on her was cheap. James said, I agree, Rick, like what Carnival is doing. Bob said, I saw where NCL has some 14-night cruises to the Southern Caribbean. And Ruthie is going to Disney World on the 27th. That is super, super exciting. I'm excited for you.
You just want to go Disney World
I want to go
again.
to Disney again.
Hmm.
I want to go to Epcot.
Yeah, that's really all you want to do is go to Epcot,
I'll
isn't it?
spend all 3 days there.
That's all she really wants to do is go to Epcot. Just take her to Epcot. She sees a mouse, eats a snack. It should be good.
I want to do the passport again.
Yeah, what is that? See a mouse, eat a snack. You're good.
James says, Bob, you are right. Looking at some of them, I have cruised NCL a lot.
Could be worth looking at. But there is a price point difference for us between Carnival and NCL.
Nellie said at least Tiffany will get something from the Martin Haley trip. I'm excited.
Appreciated, but not required.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
But she would not say no to a popcorn bucket.
No.
So,
I mean, you see our fall decorations, they're all Disney.
not our. This isn't an our decorations. This is a her decorations. This is a you will put up my Disney decorations for the lives starting this date. I came home from work and they were sitting in the office already, ready to go. So let's not be fooled by who decides this.
Nellie says, shh, not required, but we do what we will do.
Get it. I'm with you. I feel that. That's how we roll too. We do what we do.
Yeah.
All right. Wonder of the Seas. This is a good story. Wonder of the Seas departs, gets out a little ways, has to come on back and redock in Miami. Pretty sure it was Miami. You know why? Because they decided a fist fight before they even got to international waters. Apparently, there was a good old fist fight on Royal Caribbean. A couple people actually got injured. And so they went back, seek some medical attention. But honestly, I kind of like that captain's attitude. He said, don't make me turn this ship around. They kept up their shenanigans. He turned the ship around. Went back, had the police waiting for him right there on the dock and said, boom, turn around and went about his business.
Nellie said, I'm surprised there is no video.
I haven't seen one of the actual altercation yet. It was up on the Lido deck from what I've been reading. There's probably one floating around somewhere, but I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, that captain just said, busted a Yui right back to the dock. He said, no.
Rick says, I am glad I was able to tune in this evening instead of trekking up Gulf Freeway, getting ready to go live on the cruise news. Let's talk about it. Have a great live, Rick.
Oh yeah, it's probably coming up pretty close on that.
Yeah, it's about 10 minutes to 7. Bob says, yes, the Disney decorations, just don't see the red and white polka dot bag. Yep, my bag's put away right now because we're not traveling.
Yeah, that's her secret travel bag. That is also how I find her in a crowd. When she goes off to look at something, I just search for the backpack. I find her every time.
Yeah. I was telling my mom that if anything ever happens to that backpack, I'm in a whole lot of trouble. I've got to find a backup.
Well, here you go. If we go for your birthday, you can re-up your backpack subscription.
Carolyn said, don't make me turn the ship around.
I mean, that's what it kind of sounds like to me. You know, because he did. He whipped that sucker right back into port and booted them right off on the dock. As he should have. They shouldn't have been able to keep going and enjoying it, even locked in their rooms. No. Get off.
Yeah. Connie says there should be a clause for the bad actors to have to pay for the fuel that was wasted to take them back to the port. That's a good idea.
So was walking the plank. You charge them for the price of a rubber boat, and you just put them in it and lands that way. Row now. And then just keep on going. I mean, think about it. Put it in right there in the cruise contract. If you show your ass on the ship, you're getting in the rubber dinghy.
Nellie said, I heard many stories about the fight was by the kids' swim area or Windjammer.
Yeah, somewhere up in that area. I mean, I know embarkation can sometimes be a little stressful. I don't know that it's fist fighting stressful once you're already on board the ship. You've now reached sail away. You're watching the land. You're on vacation. I've never once thought to myself, bye, Galveston. All right, let's fist fight.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
Nellie said, and maybe an 80-year-old involved. Nothing concrete. Misty said, Captain pulled a dad move.
Yep. He did.
Glisten says, OMG.
Hey.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
And honestly, I don't think the stupid prizes are nearly enough to what they should be. I mean, they literally should just drop the largest hammer they possibly can on some of these people. Charge them for every little thing, fuel, like I said, fuel, time, everything, inconvenience, whatever the case may be. A do not cruise list that covers every cruise line. Walk the plank, whatever the case may be. The harshest thing they can find for people that are doing those types of activities. You're disrupting other people's cruises. You're risking harm and injury to other people. I mean, make it to the point where people really think, dang, is this going to be worth this? Because I'm about to mess up my life.
Carolyn says, you're on a roll. The yellow dinghy. I agree with you. Connie, make them pay. Glistens wants to know if they were okay.
They received medical attention when back to shore.
Yes, that's all we really know.
That's all we really know. The cruise line is not going to release anything other than, hey, there was an altercation, did cause us to go back to port. Law enforcement, medical personnel were involved, continued on our journey. That's what the cruise line says. You'll never hear any more from them.
Listen says, where's my cane? We're going to old school. Bob says, putting them in a dinghy together would never reach land.
You'd have thought about that before they acted like that on the ship. Honestly.
Yeah. Nellie says people travel from all over for that cruise, whether it's 3 days or 14 days, the cruise still disrupts everything.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't get it. I spent a lot of money to get on a cruise ship, and we're happy and excited to be there. And yes, there's people that you're just like, man, what is wrong with you? Just go the other way. Go the opposite way. Move away from it. And go enjoy your vacation. Now, I'm not getting kicked off the ship for other people's shenanigans.
Yeah. And we saw that because that lady that was up on the deck and just really upset because we didn't go to
Coco Key.
Then
she wanted to fight the other lady.
And
her husband, boyfriend, significant other grabbed her and said, nope, not on my cruise, and drug her down to her room.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's the same thing. You're not doing these shenanigans today.
Yeah.
We are not getting kicked off for your BS.
James says, I'm still amazed with all these fights on board these ships. You are on vacation. Chris will tell you, I'm mellow as hell on a cruise.
Yeah. Apparently so are we. Because, I make all those videos.
I saw the one where they were glad to see you relax.
Yeah, they said, I didn't know you could be that relaxed and chill. You're always yelling. We make the comment videos and we get all hot and, it's a game. It's a character. We play, get loud and when we're making those videos. And then they see us on cruise videos and we're just like, what's up? There's no yelling. There's no hollering. Got a drink in my hand like, hi, I'm having a really good time. Because I am. Yeah.
Glisten said, what's the point of fighting on a cruise? It's supposed to be relaxing, not WWE at sea. I like that. You're right. Carolyn said, I could cruise with you, Wade. You appeared mellow for sure. He really is.
Oh, yeah. James is so chill to cruise with. We attend a couple events. We hang out. We have a drink, do some BS, watch some shows, eat some food. It's chill.
Yeah.
We are not. We're pretty chill when we cruise anyway. Yeah, we laugh, we joke, we have a good time and everything. But boy, we're not stressing the day at all. Be like, oh, feel like a nap? I'm gonna go take a nap. Okay. Tiffany said, I'm gonna go read my book in the solarium. Okay, bye. I'll catch up to you later. eat when you want. Yeah, it's chill.
Carolyn said, by the way, I am home. Glad you made it home safe. Yay.
Yes.
James says, Glistens, that's the question that can't be answered. Nellie said, I saw that comment on your video, Chris. The person said you are always yelling.
Uh-huh.
Yep. He says, did you watch the video? I said, I don't have to. I heard you make the video over the TV.
James will tell you, we're making videos. We're making content. We're trying to get people engaged, get people fired up about stupid people, stupid cruisers, stupid comments. Yeah, I am louder on those videos than generally in real life for 99% of the time.
Yes. James says, yes, been on 2 cruises with Chris and Tiffany, and they are very relaxed and mellow.
Yeah. So what you see in those comment videos when we're just going to town over there is just, that's not, honestly, it's not real life. Though, when I'm talking to Tiffany in the living room about some of those comments,
he does get that worked up when he's talking about
I can get worked up about some of this goofy stuff that they do. I just don't do it on a cruise. So, but yeah, so Wonder of the Seas, we had a fight. 2 changes from Carnival. Waiting to see where the Beachcomber is going to be going. What's going to play up in that shuffling of stuff. We should get some more changes from Carnival next week. And we'll continue to see what 2027 is going to look like.
Carolyn said, we like your other personality. Nellie said, I remember when I first watched the comment video, I was like, damn, he's yelling at us.
It's supposed to be like, without all the bad words in there, like a shock jock kind of thing.
Yeah.
Up in your face, learn some elevator etiquette, you fool.
Bob says, my wife loves your Saturday video.
Thank you very much. I hope she gets a laugh out of them. They are meant to be both informative and make you giggle and chuckle and laugh. So I will say, though, I think my one for this upcoming Saturday is actually a little more humorous and calmer. A little calmer during, I think, the majority of it. I think it just accidentally came out that way. So you guys will have to let me know. But yeah, I purposely shoot them a little bit over the top. It's kind of just our thing. Maybe that's why people don't talk to us on the cruise ships all that often. They're like, oh God, that guy's gonna yell at me. After seeing that comment, I'm thinking that's a possibility. They're like, oh, that's the yelling guy. Don't go talk to him.
James says, promise Chris there will be a 3rd cruise in 26 with you two. Nellie said Saturday videos can help one wake up and say, get up very tired. Carolyn said, yes, Bob, my husband and I have a great time watching the Saturday videos.
They are fun to make. Because I'll be looking through the comments and I'll just be like, oh, God, this is a Saturday comment.
Misty said, you're not loud, you're just passionate. We'll go with that.
We'll go with that. I do have to turn the volume down on the videos before I release them to the general public. Otherwise, I'd be really screaming in your ear. I actually turn the volume pretty far down.
You probably don't even need to use the mic.
Well, yeah, that's how the sound gets into the video.
Bob says it's almost unbelievable how people can act and then write John.
After doing this, because we've done, I think we're somewhere in the range of 200 plus of these comment shows. I actually do wonder at some point, some of these got to be fake. They have to be made up. They just have to be. I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, these people cannot really be this. They can't think like this.
Yeah.
I wonder sometimes, are they even real? Maybe John Heel is just a really good creative writer and he's over, this will get him fired up. I'm jacking with Chris this week. Woo! Look at this one. He's going to get mad.
Nellie said one day on a cruise, someone will go to Tiffany and ask, are you okay? Does he yell at you?
Maybe.
No, he does not. And to be honest, when he does those videos, he has one day off where I'm at work. So he does those videos when I'm at work so that I don't have to hear the yelling.
Yeah, I actually do those while I'm by myself, and nobody yells at Tiffany on cruise ship. Are you okay?
Fast Eddie's here. Welcome, Fast Eddie. I know cruising is still the safest, but in the last 2 years, all of the issues, do you feel safe on a cruise?
Yes. Absolutely still do feel safe on a cruise. Because the number of instances that you actually see is really small compared to the number of cruises that are actually out there cruising in reality. The negative, the bad, gets really publicized. It goes viral. And it's a fact I've proven time and time again. If I make a video and I fist fighting on that video gets a bunch of views versus that this day was just beautifully relaxing and nothing happened on the cruise ship, won't get as many views. Bad news sells, good news doesn't do as well. So if you have a real positive outlook, you're real happy and things like that, you don't get as many views as those that find something wrong on every ship, every cruise, have negative things to say. They get a lot of views. That's why people do that and stuff like that. So they push these fight videos and stuff like that. But it's one cruise ship out of 300 plus cruise ships that are sailing around the world. Happens here, happens there. But there's about 300 cruise ships a day somewhere cruising around on this planet. Small number. So when it comes to fights and stuff like that, I feel safe. And let's be 100% honest. Stupid is not really a threat to anybody. Bad elevator etiquette, things like that. The real concern for your safety is norovirus because, Jackie over here didn't wash her hands after she, went to the bathroom and then touched every cookie on the shelf when you weren't looking. That's the biggest threat, honestly, on a cruise ship.
Misty said, probably real. I worked with the public for many years. People are dumb. Yeah. Yeah. James says, Nellie, you trying to get something started. Nellie said, Fast Eddie, I know you're not talking to me, but I feel safe on a cruise. Attila said, never heard of fight on Holland America. Should I go look at their cruises? Too many AARP folks like me on there. Maybe a Walker and Kane fight, no fist fights. Just kidding, love Holland ships.
It's like a Star Wars movie on there with the Canes.
James said, Fast Eddie, yes, been sailing since 2014 and felt totally safe on them.
Yeah, we feel safe on the ship. We feel safe in the cruise ports. We take precautions, and common sense goes a really, really long way. But majority, we feel safe. I don't let Tiffany roam off like in ports outside of the cruise port too far ever by herself. Things like that, precautions and safety. But overall, I mean, even in Costa Maya when we were there for this last time, something we've never ever done. Let's walk out the front gate. Let's just see what's outside the front gate. And that was on today's video. And out the front gate we went. Turned out the vibe out there was chill.
Yep.
People were chill. So.
Jelly said, my friend went on Star of the Seas, got the Rona. Wash your hands. Definitely wash your hands. Need to wash them all the time anyway. Bob says, yes, completely agree. Misty would almost say too much testosterone, but seen many women fighting. Nellie said, fight on Holland America. If they fight and fall, they ain't getting back up.
They also go to bed earlier.
Yes.
So by the time they've had their, cocktails and everything like that, it's 4:00. It's bedtime.
David said,
they're not up to fight, okay?
David said, have a great night. We will see you next week. David, thanks for joining us. Tilla said, yeah, Chris, thanks for the front gate walk. I liked that walkabout.
Yeah, we didn't go very far. We'd never done it, never tried it. Really, it was that replica Mayan pyramid. I saw it on the ship. And I was like, what is that? Been to Costa Maya 5-6 times.
And apparently it's been there forever. It's a water, or it used to be a waterfall.
Oh, yeah, it used to have a waterfall in it, they said. That hasn't worked in years. But we noticed it from the ship. I was like, what is that? Okay, let's go find out what that is. And so out the front gate, and it turned out it's just walked in the street, and there it was. Now, town itself is still
They said it was a 40-minute walk.
40-minute walk to actual town. So you got to take a taxi over there unless you want to walk through the jungle for 40 minutes, because there's not a whole lot between where that pyramid was and actual town. But I think next time we go there, we might catch a ride into town and see what's going on over there.
Yeah.
They got some good eats over there. So I think we might try that next time, because like I said, the vibe was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good vibe. So I think that'll be something that we'll do. And I think we're about ready to wrap this up for today. I want to thank everybody for being here. We really, really appreciate it. I know Rick has got his live, should be actually have already started for those that want to jump over and take a look at that. I think he's got some like group thing going on over there. Kinky stuff. I don't know what's going on over there. But yeah, I think he's got a consortium.
He's got a panel.
A panel. There we go. That's a good word for it.
Texas Cruiser is live.
Yeah, Texas Cruiser is live over on his channel. He's got a panel going on over there of some other content creators. So if you guys want to go check that out and continue the conversation over there, I might hop over there, jump in and say hello. So
Thomas is asking, have you ever been concerned about eating at local restaurants in the Caribbean and Mexico? No.
And here's why I say no.
That's how they make their living.
That's how they make their money. That's how they make their living. They are not out to make you sick or anything like that, because they don't want you to go tell your friends, don't eat over here at El Chile because the food made me sick and I got food poisoning. They absolutely don't want that mess out in the public, because then they lose money. They lose business. This is their livelihoods. I actually think that makes them more cautious, and they take better care of you just for that reason. But we've eaten in restaurants just wherever in Progreso, Costa Maya, Cozumel. We've eaten in the Caribbean. There was a lady in Nassau, Bahamas, in the middle of the bazaar, who had some Caribbean meat pies that they directed me over to. They were in like a Tupperware container, and I was like, I want that. And she's like, okay. Never bothered me. They were delicious.
Yeah.
They want us to come back.
Yeah.
They want that American dollar. They're not out to hurt you.
Thomas said, thanks for your input. Have a great week.
So thank you guys. Everybody just good night.
Good night.
All right. So we will be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Because, Tiffany's crazy like a bat.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
He makes me that way.
She keeps blaming it on me. I'm telling you, she came this way. This is factory settings. But we do appreciate everybody being here. Love it. Enjoy it. Be back next week. Everybody have yourself a great day. Have a great week. Great weekend. And like always,
we'll see you out on the high seas.
Good night, everybody.